feel like, is this begging? Am I begging? Whatever, man. I ain't got no pride left anymore. Hey guys, welcome back to Simplified Mechanic. My name's Thomas. Today's video, we're doing a 2010 Chrysler Town & Country with a 3.3 liter. We're gonna do a water pump replacement. Took us about 2 hours and we made about 140 bucks. So stay tuned. All right, let's jump into this. Go ahead and jack that van up. Go ahead and get that tire off. I actually took 2 different lug nut keys to get this off. Now we're in the inner fender well. 2 little plastic clips holding this in. We used a long flathead screwdriver. There is 2 Phillips head screws holding this in. Go ahead, take them out. You can peel this plastic inner fender well out and slide it to the other side of the rotor there and tuck it away. After that, we got 1 bolt right up top here. It's a 10 millimeter. Go ahead and remove that. Once you have that down, you can remove this plastic piece. Now you can see inside, you can see serpentine belt. There's the belt tensioner. Now you're going to grab a couple of pieces of wood because we're going to be jacking the engine up and we don't want to dent the oil pan. Now we're going to go back up top. We're going to remove the air box, the intake hose, and some motor mounts. First you're going to do is remove this hose. Now this clip, it's just a push and pull clip. Set that to the side. Now get you an 8 millimeter or flathead screwdriver and loosen these clamps up. Now we'll be able to take this air box out. It should pop up and out. After you fight with it a little bit, it'll come out. Now that it's out, we're going to focus on the motor mount. These top 3 bolts are 15 millimeter. So you're going to go ahead and take them ones out. After that, you'll have 2 more to take out, also 15 millimeter. Here's one on the far right side. And then on the far left side. This one's a little bit harder to get to, but you should be okay. Once you have it out, you'll be able to take the whole motor mount out as 1 unit. Go ahead and set it on the ground. These 2 that I'm pointing at, them are 13 millimeter bolts. You do not need to take them out. Now we're going to be removing the water pump pulley off the water pump. Them are 13 millimeter bolts that we're removing. We have a long crowbar holding it still because as you can see, it was broke. Usually you'll have your serpentine belt on there that's holding it still so you can remove this, but the serpentine belt broke on ours. So if the serpentine belt is broke, you have to do it like this or find a way to keep that pulley from turning on you so you can loosen these up. But if your serpentine belt is intact and still around all the pulleys and has tension on it, then you need to make sure you go ahead and loosen these bolts up before you take your serpentine belt off. So now we got the water pump pulley off. We're going to be reusing that, so set it to the side. And as you can see how much movement is in there. Alright, so now we're actually taking off the 5 bolts that's holding the water pump on. They're all 10 millimeter, and you got to be very careful with them because they can break. And they're actually notorious for breaking. This one right here is the bottom one. That is the one that'll break on you if any of them break. So be very, very careful with this one. And you can see there's a lot of oil and grease that's built up. So it makes it very hard for these to come out. And as you can see here, we're using a regular wrench because the socket kept slipping off it. Now with all the bolts out, take your hammer and tap it and it'll come off like that. And as you can see, it was broke pretty good. And now we need to get this old gasket off and clean it up because we need a good clean mating surface. So when we put the new water pump on, it doesn't leak. Here we're matching up the old part with the new part. You can tell they're exact matches. Now we're putting a little bit of gasket maker on here. Just so when we put the gasket, it'll stick with it. We don't want it moving around. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put the water pump back on. So you're going to go ahead and line it up. You can't put this on wrong, it only goes one way. So put the top bolt in. Now you can go ahead and put the rest of the bolts in. We're just hand tightening them down, not snugging them up at all. Now, once we have them all in and hand tighten, we're going to tighten them down in a crisscross pattern. Kind of like when you're putting a tire on. So we did the far left one, and now we jumped over here and doing the far right one. Now we're going back to the left bottom. Now once we got them all snugged up, go ahead and put your pump pulley back on. And you'll line it up. You'll hand tighten these 13mm bolts. We won't tighten them all the way down till we get the serpentine belt on, and that's when we'll torque them down. Now we're going to be putting on the serpentine belt, but the main thing is to get it behind that pulley right there. Now you'll take a 3/8" ratchet and you'll put it right in there, and you'll pull it like you're tightening it back towards the firewall. Then you'll slide the belt on. Then you'll release the ratchet, releasing the tension just like that. Now take a look at each pulley and make sure the belt's not hanging off. Make sure it's seated nice. Now we're going to remove the jack. We're going to be putting the motor mount back in place. So we tighten that first one up. We'll move over to the far left one. Then we got the 3 of them that's up top. They're all 15mm. Now go ahead and put the air box back on. Get it back in place. Put it straight down, it'll lock in. Go ahead and tighten them clamps up. They're 8mm, or you can use a flathead screwdriver. And now we're going to be putting the tire back on. Once we snug that up, we'll drop the jack and we'll put coolant in. You're done. A reminder, in the video descriptions, underneath the video, you click the little arrow. In the video descriptions, I have every tool that I carry linked down there. If you want any of them, you just click on the link. It'll take you straight to Amazon to the tool. I get like 3 or 4% for everything you buy there. So yes, if you buy something, that helps me as a sports channel. It's very little money, but it can add up. Also, I started a membership group. There's 3 or 4 different tiers. It's very cheap. Depending on which one you get different levels. Some of them I'll send you videos that the rest of the subscribers and the public don't have. Access to my phone number. You can do video chats. You can do texts. There's a bunch of different things. Also, we have our Cash App, our PayPal, and our Venmo link. Them are for donations. If you ever want to support the channel, even if you donate $1, it helps out. Or if you watch one of the videos, putting in a water pump, and you watch my water pump video, and it saved you $300 at the dealership, if you want to show your gratitude, you can hit the like button and throw a couple dollars through Cash App or PayPal or Venmo, something like that. You don't have to, but it'd be really nice. Is this bacon? Am I bacon? Whatever, man. I ain't got no pride left anymore.